Tina is going to paint different parts of a totem pole with a mixture of green paint and blue paint. She mixes 3/4 of a cup of green paint with 2/3 of a cup of blue paint to get the right color. She will need 34 cups of paint in total. How many cups of green paint and how many cups of blue paint will she need? These are just base 10 blocks. So this is a 1, it's just 1 unit. And then the next one is a 2. And the next one is a 3. You can count 1, 2, 3, like 3 green units would fit in here, 2 green units would fit here, 4 green units would fit here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And these are called multi-unit blocks, multi-unit base 10 blocks. And that's, instead of, grabbing a handful of 5 of the little green ones, you can just grab a 5 like that. This would be an 8. Just grab that instead of grabbing 8 of these. Plus it makes the work that we're doing, you can use base 10 blocks for what you're learning in your class. So anyways, I thought I would show you that. I'm going to show you question 2 now. So it says that Tina is going to paint different parts of a totem pole with a mixture of green paint and blue paint. She mixes 3/4 of a cup, so 3/4 of a cup, and we could look at that as a fraction, of green paint with 2/3 of a cup of, what color paint was that? Blue paint. So for every 3/4 of a cup of green paint, she uses 2/3 of a cup of blue paint. Okay, so let me just pull these down. Here's her 3/4 of a cup of green paint, and here's her 2/3 of a cup of blue paint. It says that she, and she's mixing it because she wants to get a certain color. So it says she needs 34 cups of that color of paint though in total. So how many cups of the green and how many cups of the blue paint will she need? Well, we could do this. We could keep adding in 3/4 of a cup. And I'm not going to use the lines here. Just assume that this is your fraction and there's an imaginary line there. So we could keep adding in 3/4 of a cup of green and 2/3 of a cup of blue, right? And until we get to, well, I'll show you. Let me put it up here. So every one of the pink and the yellow is 3/4 of a cup of green. And I split these up like this for a reason. I'll show you in a minute. Down here, every one of these oranges and one pink is 2/3 of a cup. So the ratio is 3/4 to 2/3. Okay. I'll just put these up here. Now, what I have done is I kept going here until I got whole cups. So 3/4, right? Plus another 3/4 is 6/4, plus another 3/4 is 8/4, plus another 3/4 is 12/4. And 12 divided by 4, or 12/4, is the same as 3 cups. So each of these groups that I've split this into is 3 cups of paint. And then this is 2/3, 4/3, 6/3, and every 6/3 is 2 cups of paint. Okay, so the way I got 3 from here was 12/4, because this is 12/4. We look at that like 12/4, and 12/4 is the same as 3. And then down here, this was 6/3, and that's the same as 2. I'm not sure if you can see that. Hang on, let me fix the camera. Let me move that maybe up over here. I need a better felt. Felt's running out. So this was 6/3, and 6/3 equals 2. And so that's where I got, these are 2 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, 2 cups, 2 cups, 2 cups, 2 cups. And so what you end up with is on the top 9 cups of the green. So 9 cups of green paint and 8 cups, 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9, 8 cups of blue paint. So the ratio is for every 9 cups of green paint, I'm going to use 8 cups of blue paint. Now, I don't know if you notice here, I actually went over the same distance. So I went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the top, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the bottom. And the reason that I went over 12 is because I wanted to end up with whole cups here, right? I could have gone over here and looked at, and just instead of going over 12 and counting those, I could have just tried to make the bottoms the same, so have it 12. So I could have done this. And this is probably really foreign to you. You've probably never done these before like this. But if I want to make my rectangle on the bottom 12, so like same kinds, I could make this into 9 12. So I've got 3/4 here, and it's 3/4 down the side. And I'm going over 3. So 3/4 times 3 gives me 9/4. Sorry, 3/4 times 3 over 3 gives me 9 on the top and 12 on the bottom. Okay, and then this is 2/3, and I'm going over 4 on the top in that. So this 9 is this rectangle here, this 12 is this rectangle here. 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12. And then on the bottom, I'm changing this from 2/3 because I want like denominators. So I could do this all like this, or I could do it simpler where I go and just find, like, go over 1 each time until the bottom rectangle has the same amount in it. And you can see this has 12 in it, so 3 times 4 here has 12 in it. So 3 times 4 on the bottom is 12, and then 2 times 4, because that's how far over I went, is 8 on the top. So now you can ignore the 12 on the top, on the bottom, and the 12 on the bottom here because they're the same, and just look at the 9 and the 8, and you see how you get 9 to 8. So what they were doing is just taking 3/4. Can you see this right here? 3/4, and timesing it by a 1, and in this case the 1 is 3 over 3 in order to get the bottoms of these the same. And then they took 2/3 and they timesed it by a 1, which is 4 over 4, to get the bottoms again the same. The tops will be different. The bottoms are the same, so we can, oh sorry, that's an 8. The bottoms are the same, so we can ignore them. We just look at the tops, right? And it's 9 to 8 ratio. So for every 9 cups, we get 9 cups of green paint. We use 8 cups of blue paint. I don't like this part quite as much because I don't think it's quite as intuitive. I think if you're learning this stuff, you should actually do the whole thing like I'm showing you. So let's go back over here and I'll show you again. So let's forget that. Let's forget that. Let's push this back over, this back over. So what I've done is here is I'm adding 3/4, so 3/4, right? And then it goes to 6/4, 9/4, 12/4. And then it goes 15, 18, 21, 24, 28, 32. No, I've done this wrong. 3, 6, 9, 12. So this would be 24. This would be 36/4, right? And 36/4 is the same as 9. 36 divided by 4. You could even say that I went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you could say that I've got 12 times 3/4 of a cup. And that is actually 36/4 of a cup, which is the same as 9 cups. Okay? And then going back to this here, I'll erase that. But you can see that that's 9 cups on top, right? So I'll erase this. And then what I've got here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 2/3, right, of a cup. And 12 times 2/3 of a cup is actually 24/3 of a cup, which is actually equal to 8 cups. Okay, and you can see here, this is 1 or 2 cups, 4 cups, 6 cups, 8 cups. This is 3 cups, 6 cups, 9 cups. And if you look at this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 24 thirds. These are just considered thirds. 3, 6, 9, 12, 24, 36, 36 fourths, right? Same as 9. So right now on the board, what I've got is 9 cups of green and 8 cups of blue. But we don't want, and so if you add that together, we end up with a mixture that has 17 cups of paint, this blue-green paint, or green-blue paint, however you want to look at it. But she needs 34 cups of paint. So essentially what she needs to do is she needs to double this. So I'm just going to push these together now. We know that this is 8 cups of paint. Oops, hang on. And we know that this is 9 cups of paint. But she needs 34 cups of paint. So how do we get from 9 plus 8 to 34? Well, we know that 9 plus 8 cups is 17 cups, right? So 17 cups of paint. How do we get that to be 34? Well, if you put maybe an X there, I think she's got your teacher has an A in there, right? What number times 17 will get us to 34? Well, you can just do this, split it up, 17 times 2, right? Well, A has to be 2. Okay, and so what that means really is that I'm just doubling. I'm doubling this. So I'm going from 9 cups to 18 cups, and I'm going from 8 cups to 16 cups. Okay, so 9 times 2 plus 8 times 2 equals 18 plus 16 equals 34, right? And that's what we're looking for. So what she had here, or your teacher had here, was I think she wrote the ratio out like let me see, what did she write? She went 9 times some number, A, to the ratio of 8 times some number, A, right? Because you have to keep your ratios. You can't just like make these different numbers. If you're going to increase 9 by 1, you increase 8 by 1. If you increase 9 by 2, you increase 8 by 2. And we found out that we needed to get to 34, we had to double these. So it really was 9 times 2, which is what the A is, times 8 times 2, which again is what the A is, which gives you 18 to the ratio of 16, which if you add 18 plus 16, you get your 34 cups. Now that's a bit of a long way around, but I want you to see that this actually means something. Like, not just do the math, like just do all the symbols, but like understand what the question's asking. And basically what the question was asking is that I'm going to pour 3/4 of a cup in of green paint with 2/3 of a cup in of blue paint. I need to get to 34 cups, right? My ratio right here is 3/4, right, to 2/3, right? And what they did was they times the top and the bottom by a 1 in order to get the bottoms the same. The tops, they didn't need the same, but the denominators need to be the same. And so what they did was they times this by 3, because see how I'm going 3 across, times 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. There's your top, there's your bottom, numerator, denominator, and you end up with 9/12, right? And this you went over by 4/4 to get 12 on the bottom, and you got 8 on the top, and the only thing you need to look at is this, and oops, that and that, I mean, you could take this fraction and go 9/12 over 8/12, and then, you know, do the invert and multiply, and then, same up here, 12 over 8, and that just cancels, that cancels, that cancels, and that cancels, and that cancels, and then you're left with a 9:8 ratio that way as well. Anyways, a bit of a long way around this, but hopefully this makes sense to you what they're doing. They're just mixing 3/4 of a cup of paint with 2/3 of a cup of paint until they get to 34, right? And you're just trying to figure out how many cups of the green paint do you need, plus how many cups of the blue paint do you need, and the new ratio is just this, right? But I mean, all the question asked was how many cups of green paint and how many cups of blue paint will she need. So a whole bunch of different ways to get at this, and I'm hoping some of it made sense to you, because I know this is really probably quite foreign to you. Again, you basically got 3/4 of a cup of green paint plus 2/3 of a cup of blue paint. And you just need to figure out how many times, and I'll use the letters that she used here, how many times do you need to multiply that mixture of 3/4 plus 2/3 of a cup to get to 34 whole cups, right? And so here's your 3/4 and here's your 2/3, okay, right here. So this would be 3/4 plus 2/3 right here. And we need to know how many times we're going to multiply that to get to 34. The easiest way to figure this out, though, is to just make your bottoms the same. So there's 4, there's 3 there. Well, this is smaller, so move this one over. We've got 6, and then 4 here. Well, that's smaller, so let's move this one over. Now we've got 8 on the bottom. 8 and 6 are not the same, so let's try again. Let's make that 9. Well, that's still not the same. There's 12. Oh, we could bring one more over. Now we're at 12 on the bottom here and 12 on the bottom here. So this is 3, 6, 9 12s, 2, 4, 6, 8 12s. So 9 12s plus 8 12s, right? Times that number will give you 34. Okay, well, that's really 17 12ths times that number equals 34, right? And the way you solve this is 17a equals 34 times 12 is 408. And then you just divide this by 17 on both sides, or you could just split this up like this, and it would say 17 times 24. 408 divided by 17 is 24. And if you look at that, can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We had to go over 24. We needed 24 3/4. So 24 3/4 of a cup. And then on the bottom, we needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we needed 24 times 2/3 of a cup, right? Well, if, and this is the green paint, and this is the blue paint, right? Well, let's just, what do you call this? Simplify or whatever. I can't think of the word. Man, this dental stuff has really thrown me. That becomes 1, 4 goes into there 1 time, right? 4 goes into here 6 times. Or the way I really like to do this is, instead of doing that, is just split this up into 6 times 4. And then you can see your hidden 1 in there. And same like this, I'm going to make this 3 times something. So 8 times 3, and there's my hidden 1. 6 times 3 equals 18 cups, and then 8 times 2 equals 16 cups. So we need 18 cups of the green and 16 cups of the blue. Add those together and you've got your 34 cups.